Morning! It's the Viktor Wilt Show. Sorry, I shouldn't yell. Hey! I was talking with Josh from Classy about this just yesterday. You know, are there any mornings that you just wake up and you're pumped up and ready to go? Because he wakes up, you know, the same time I do. And he said he's had a few. He's had a few days like that where he wakes up and like, all right, let's go. I don't think I've ever felt that way prior to coming into work. Now, once I get here, I can get in the flow. It's like, all right, we got a job to do, time to do some radio. But yeah, no, I'm talking about when that alarm clock goes off and I first crawl out of bed. Ready to go? No. Maybe one of these days, but I just messed up my sleep schedule by sleeping in for a week straight. Feels like daylight saving time all over again. Ugh. Anyhow, let's get into some content, huh? What say we look at something on the internet? All right. What's a stupidly expensive adult purchase that you now swear by that you would buy again in a heartbeat? All right. Top answer at the moment, hearing aids. This person says, my mom refused to use them. We finally got her to use ones, NHS ones, but she hated them and hardly ever wore them. My sister and I took her to a private appointment, got her new ones that, while expensive, have completely changed her life. She went from not taking part in conversations or going out to back being the life of the party. Yeah, I mean, I like being able to hear. You might, if you ever hang out with me, hear me go, what? Can you say that again? Huh? Because, you know, my hearing's definitely damaged from years of doing the radio show, wearing headphones for 4 hours a day at minimum, and going to concerts and not using earplugs, because, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. And I'm not trying to say you shouldn't wear earplugs at shows. You should. You absolutely should. You don't want to have a constant ringing in your ears like I have. But I've tried a lot of different earplugs. Concerts are not as enjoyable while wearing earplugs. Now, again, you should wear earplugs at shows, okay? Take it from a guy who has constant ringing in his ears. Tinnitus. But yeah, I don't know. Even recent shows I've been to, I've had earplugs in my pocket. It's got to be painfully loud to where it's not pleasant for me to put the earphone or earplugs in. Okay, anyway, yeah, I'd get a hearing aid if I had to. You know, like, I got that CPAP, you know, because of sleep apnea. It might make me seem like a real old fogey or something. I don't know. I should have been using one when I was probably a teenager, you know? Who knows what kind of damage endless not breathing while sleeping has done to me. But, yeah, you know, if something's going to improve your quality of life, you should just do it. Follow the doctor's orders and, you know, buckle down, get used to it. I know adjusting to a CPAP is kind of difficult, but once you get it down, it's the best. Okay, let's get back to stupidly expensive adult purchases that these people now swear by and would buy again in a heartbeat. I paid $80 for 3 pairs of socks because I didn't look at the price. Okay, well, what about when you get up to the register and they ring up 3 pairs of socks and it's $80? That's when I go, what? All right, this person says that was about 6 years ago, and I've just had to get rid of the first pair, worth every penny, big, thick merino wool ones that I wear with my work boots. All right, I don't have to wear work boots. I would imagine that that's the type of situation where you're going to need, like, great socks. I don't need that. I'll get by on whatever I can find at Ross on sale. Now, let's see, good shoes and coats for my children. I've made myself a promise that no matter how old they are, anytime they want good shoes or a coat, I'll buy it for them. Good shoes do make a difference. You know, find yourself some shoes that are comfortable, okay? I'm not a big fan of the way my shoes look, all right? They're cringy. They're Skechers. I never thought I'd wear Skechers. But I don't care what they look like. They're comfortable. I wish I could just rock some Vans, but not comfortable. So I'll wear the old person shoes. Yeah. Let's see, high-end mattress. I figured that would pop up. Everybody's always got to mention getting a good bed. Let's see, hotel right next to her in the airport for the night before the flight home. That's not a stupidly expensive adult purchase. Usually, the hotels right by the airport are much more affordable than a hotel in the middle of a city. So I don't think that one really flies. Let's see, decent bras for the ladies. Yeah, I don't wear a bra very often. Come on, guys. I'm joking. I don't wear a bra. Some days. Okay. Anyway, but I would imagine cheap bras. They probably suck. Kind of like cheap shoes. We got somebody calling. Let's see what they want. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
Good morning, Victor. It's Chad.
Chad, what's up, dude?
A robot vacuum.
Dude, that is on my list of items I need to purchase, and I can't ever get myself to pull the trigger. Absolutely worth it, huh?
Dude, buy it. Your house could be being vacuumed right now.
All right, man. Yeah, it's a good reminder.
It's a double thing, and something that I really didn't think of initially until I had kids. But you kind of have to clean up too, so it forces you to pick up the stuff off your floor. And that's a good motivator too. You know what? You might get me shopping this morning while the music's playing. It's great, man. I don't know if I can say the name or not, but we got a Deebot. They're really expensive, unfortunately, but it's been worth every penny. And if anything breaks, you can send it back to them. They'll fix it, send it back to you. But as soon as that thing goes in for a repair, we're like, God, we want it back because we got 4 dogs. I know you got cats.
Yeah.
And the hair, all the hair is just gone because it gets picked up every day, 8 a.m. It turns on, does the whole house, and then it goes back to its little thing, and you just empty it when you get home.
And you said Deebot?
Yeah.
All right. I haven't heard of that brand, so I'll have to look into that, man.
Oh, they're awesome, man. Highly recommend it.
All right, dude. Well, appreciate the reminder because I do hate vacuuming. You know, my house, I'm basically vacuuming dust because there's never anybody over. But still,
yeah.
When it comes,
that's what it's perfect for.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll get looking around. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good morning, Victor.
Heck yeah, you too, man. Good to hear from you.
Dude,
peace. Oh, look at this. I went to the Fat Kid deals on Twitter. If you're not familiar with Fat Kid deals, it's pretty much the only thing I ever look at on Twitter because Twitter's a nightmare. But right here, one of the first deals that pops up, it's like the computer's listening to me. iRobot Roomba i3 Plus Robot Vacuum Plus Mop, $75 regularly, $600. It doesn't have a very good review. See, this is the problem. I'll see these items pop up, and I go, well, it's got a bad review. You know, it's only 3.5 stars. But you also got to realize that people are much more likely to leave a negative review than a positive review. All right, anyway, I'm not going to buy a vacuum right at this moment. I'm broke. I need more money. All right, we're kind of staying in the same vein as the last break I did. Last thing we were talking about was see how tired I am today? I don't even remember exactly what it was, and that was 10 minutes ago. I don't know, they were stupidly expensive items that, now you couldn't go without. Well, this is products that you bought that turned you into a total snob, and now you can never go back to the cheap stuff. All right, let's see what people got. I had a listener call that was on air talking about vacuums. Jeez, I might need to get into more coffee already. I did not purchase a vacuum yet, but anyhow, products you bought that turns you into a snob. Good quality headphones, the top answer. I can say, as somebody who uses headphones every day to keep that tinnitus, rolling full steam ahead. Yeah, cheap headphones suck. They suck. And I don't even use super expensive headphones. Shout out to Lieutenant Crain and fam who got me new headphones a couple Christmases ago. These are great. Yeah, you don't have to spend tons of money, but I'd say like you probably got to drop $100 minimum if you want headphones that don't suck. Hence why I don't ever buy any. I ain't got the dough. Hence why Peaches just decided to take some headphones from work and claim them as his. Get yourself your own headphones, Peaches. All right, what else do we have here? Glass containers. Food tastes way better when heated after being stored in glass. I don't know. To me, that sounds like, you've just convinced yourself of that. Kind of like how some people say that beverages out of a can are not as good as beverages out of a bottle. When it comes to beer, tell you what, can is always better. Sad as it might sound. Because beer bottles, light gets into the beer. And it screws up the beer, gives it light damage. Like if you ever have a skunky beer, that's not how it's supposed to taste. It's essentially gone bad. Yeah, beer that comes in a green bottle, they don't change the color of those bottles because people have become convinced that skunky taste is good. So like St. Pauli or Heineken, whatever, they're like, all right, people like that, whatever. Get it in a can, tastes way different. All right, what else do we have here? High quality sheets, yeah, cheap sheets suck, but you don't have to spend a bunch of money on those either. Watch Fat Kid deals that I mentioned on Twitter earlier. You can find yourself some good deals on decent sheets. Let's see. This post is ending up a lot like the last one. We got people talking about shoes. A second computer monitor. Yeah, I don't know how I went so long. There's no way I'd be able to do what I do as far as like making content or something like that. Live streaming. It would be impossible with one monitor. I'm sure. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say impossible, but 2 monitors, that's just a must when it comes to computers. Good olive oil. All right, I'm a cheapskate when it comes to that. I'll take your word for it. Okay, office chairs. Now, you don't need to spend a ton of money on those either, okay? $1.50? Not literally $1.50. $150. You can get yourself a great ergonomic office chair that's just fine. Don't go drop $500 on a gaming chair. But seriously, if you're going to buy a chair, go sit in them. All right? Don't ever buy a chair, a computer chair or office chair without trying it out, okay? Like, no offense to my bosses, but they bought us these really fancy chairs for our offices, and they look great. They're beautiful. Horribly uncomfortable. All right? And then these studio chairs. I bet the chairs we have here in the studio are expensive too. They suck. And I'll put up with it. I've got a nice chair at home, but I wish that I would get put in charge of purchasing decisions sometimes. Because, when you work at a desk all day, like, I know a good chair, okay? And again, I guarantee that the chair in my office, it probably costs 5 times as much as a, good quality ergonomic chair would have cost. But it looks great, doesn't it? Well, it's early. The bosses ain't listening yet. Or so I hope. This chair in the studio is, really seeming extra sucky right now. All right. I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back in a minute. I think I might get into some more caffeine. I don't know what else to do with myself. I'm foggy. It's okay. I'll get adjusted to my sleep schedule just in time for the weekend to screw it up all over again. We'll be back. Hey, you want to hang out with me? Here's what you got to do. You got to come see me this Saturday. Going to be broadcasting live at Teton Auto Credit. Been a while since I've been out on a live broadcast, so I think it would be fun if you stopped by and said hello. Teton Auto Credit in Idaho Falls. They got a new location on Pioneer Road. Right there behind Teton Volkswagen. It's 2800 Pioneer Road. I am going to be there Saturday from 1 to 3. I'm going to have some swag. I'll probably drag along some Cannonball swag, K-Bear stickers, some CDs, and I don't know, maybe I'll find something real fun to sign people up to win. You'll have to listen on Saturday to hear more, unless I decide what I'm going to do by Friday. I should be able to. I mean, that's multiple days. Come on, buddy. But most importantly, you should come see me. This Saturday, 1 to 3, Teton Auto Credit. Maybe you're in the market for a new vehicle. I really need a car. So I'm definitely going to be looking around at what they have available. Oh, look at that. Toyota Prius. Now, I want something with some good gas mileage, so I don't know. I may end up walking out of there with a sweet new ride, huh? You might as well. Yeah. Make sure to stop by, say hello, get some swag, and maybe ride away in something nice. At Teton Auto Credit, their brand new location, 2800 Pioneer Road in Idaho Falls, this Saturday, 1 to 3. Come hang. A new one from Ghost, Lacrima. I don't know how you say it, but I'm just going to assume that's good. I was hoping Ghost wouldn't continue in this 80s sounding direction, but I do like these new songs. I just, have that special place in my heart for the sludgier, doomier, more 70s sounding stuff. The Meliora sound. But again, I like it. However, with Ghost putting out new music, their fan base is now back to fully active and being fully annoying. Yeah. I don't know if you follow Ghost groups or the Ghost subreddit, but, when any band gets really popular, the fan base starts to irritate me. I've talked about it with Sleep Token, Bad Omens, and I've talked about it years ago with Ghost. All right, so Ghost is out on tour. They played their first show of the new tour, I think yesterday. And people were getting so mad online and deleting people's posts because they were showing pictures from inside the venue. Now, Ghost is taking the Tool route when it comes to the current tour. No phones allowed. You got to actually give your phone up when you walk into the venue. Put it in a locked bag. They do this at comedy shows. Got to be a bit of a nightmare at an arena show. That's a lot of phones to keep track of. But anyway, some people snuck their phones in and were taking pictures, and fans were going insane about this. Oh my gosh, how disrespectful. I can't believe this. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see these pictures. And today, there's a full-fledged article out about the opening night of the tour with tons of photos, and the band themselves posted photos on their Instagram page. And they're still being marked as spoilers in the Ghost subreddit. Like, just settle down, everybody. If you don't want to see it, just don't go online. It's kind of like if you're watching a TV show and you don't want to get spoilers. You don't go to that subreddit, Don't go to where the fan base is talking about things. There are a lot of shows that I want to know what people are saying, but I'm not caught up, so I avoid that material. If you don't want to know what a concert's going to be like, don't look at the pictures, don't go on YouTube, don't look up the set list. There are ways to avoid these things, okay? Now, when it comes to other type of spoilers, I don't know. I guess where the band themselves posted pictures, I don't think you can call these things spoilers. But it's not like a TV show that, is wrapped up filming and you got somebody from the cast throwing out, little tidbits. All right, we got somebody calling. Let's see what they want. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
Oh, my name is Jake.
Jake, what's on your mind?
I was just listening to you talk about the ghost shows and not being able to take your phone in, kind of like your Tool shows.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to tell you that when I seen Tool for 10,000 Days in Salt Lake City, they didn't take my phone.
Yeah, Tool doesn't make you lock the phones up in the bags, but they'll like throw you out if they catch you using it. So, yeah.
Well, I guess I wasn't really using it and taking pictures of the show. I was too concerned watching the show.
Yeah, and the 10,000 Days tour was so long ago. They may not have been doing the no phone thing at that time. I don't remember when they started that, but I sadly watched a few people get kicked out in Idaho Falls, and I felt bad for them. But
oh, you mean when they were just there?
Yeah, a year or so ago, something like that, year and a half.
Yeah, for the Fear Inoculum tour.
Yeah, amazing show. So
I didn't go to it. I'm not even so sure if I've heard the whole album.
Dude, you need to listen to it. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
I will listen. Well, of course it's a Tool, and they only put one out like every 10 years.
That's true. Well,
thanks, Vic.
Hey, thanks, man. You have a good day.
I'm kind of sad, by the way, because you plan on leaving. Are you really leaving, K-Bear?
Who said that?
You did.
I've joked about it. I've joked about it a few
good.
times, but no, I'm not. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, good.
All right.
Makes me feel good.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't go anywhere, but to get me to move to another radio station, they would have to offer me like serious money, because it's too much of a gamble. I see radio jobs posted all the time, but they're for companies like Odyssey, iHeart, Cumulus, Town Square. I wouldn't want to work for those companies. You want to talk about no job security? No way. They'd have to offer me high six figures or some ludicrous amount of money that's not even, logical. So that if I got fired in a year, like they like to do with those companies, at least I'd have some money to live off for a while. I think if I got the boot from here, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be setting up a GoFundMe. Help me! Oh, man, if I got hit by a rock that was thrown by a bird, I'd be furious. Rock-dropping seagull closes university building. All right, University of Oxford. This was in the UK. Closed for a week after a seagull broke a glass roof by repeatedly dropping a stone on it. Bird just hates this building. Drop the rock, fly down, pick it up, drop it again. Why would you build a building with a glass roof? All right, I'm sure it's neat. Look, we're inside and we can see the clouds above us. Cool. Yeah, well, it can also get broken. And then when it's broken, you got to cancel things. So, I don't know. Probably got somebody listening with a skylight in their home who's like, dude, come on. Lets the light in. It's great, dude. What's wrong with you? I got a very dark home. I keep it very goth around my place. Lots of black curtains to keep the sunshine out. I should probably open those. Might help with the black cloud that feels like it's hanging over my head after 6 months of winter. Remember to take your vitamins, kids. All right, what else do we have here? Science-backed way to get healthier if you don't like exercise. All right, this is the kind of information I need. If you've seen me recently, after that 6 months of winter, I think it's kind of clear I slacked on the exercise front for the last 6 months. Did very well on the mow down candy front, but anyway, what you need to do is do your chores really fast. That's what this says. It's not about doing hardcore exercise, but if you're gonna say vacuum, they say to speed vacuum. Now, wouldn't that make the vacuuming less efficient? And I don't know, if you're doing the dishes at high speed, is that really going to help you lose a little bit of weight? I mean, I guess it's better than no exercise. You could always just drink beer and then try to find something in your house. You know, especially if you have stairs. Have somebody like hide something from you and then tell you, you know, hey, your phone, it's somewhere in the house. What do you mean? And then you're running up and down the stairs. A good way to get exercise, but the beer's going to offset it anyway. Lots of calories in that, so no, it's not a good suggestion. All right, finally, a Florida Highway Patrol fleet has added a Chevy Corvette to its lineup. I guess, where did they get this from? They seized it in partnership with the DEA, so yeah, they didn't go out and spend tax dollars on it. They got it from a drug dealer, I guess, and we're like, all right, let's go ahead and slap a logo on the side, and then we're going to cruise in style. Yeah, I think they do it just to poke at these drug dealers. Yeah, they're sitting in jail, getting the daily news. Hey, that was my Corvette, man. I don't know. It might be a good way to get people to join the police force. Look, you could drive cars like this. Then they stick you with something kind of boring. Like, no offense to the City of Idaho Falls Police Department, but those rides don't look near as cool as the state cops. Yeah. Just playing. I think they're trying to be sneaky, you know. They kind of blend in. Look like every other car around here. That's why you get pulled over. All right, anyway, there's your freak news. I love it when I find a scientific breakthrough we can talk about on this program. How about this one? Did you know it's good to wash your clothes and then wear them again? This is a real news article. Why wear, wash, repeat makes sense. Wear, wash, repeat. Isn't that what you just do with your clothes? Since when did that become, some type of a life plan? Wear, wash, repeat. So repeatedly wearing our favorite item has more advantages than you might think. It's like a wearable hug, and it's better for the planet. So I guess what they're ultimately trying to say is if your clothes are comfy and you like them, you're going to have a good time. Yeah, no kidding. What is the point of this article? Well, let's see. Ruth Barrett and her partner Jordan got married a week before the pandemic shut Britain down. While the couple celebrated their wedding in the nick of time, they missed out on a honeymoon. In the grand scheme of things, the lost trip is not a big deal, but when they were able to drive their car around their local area for a mini honeymoon, they felt that it was very special. Obviously, there were other things that were much more important that were so distressing at the time, but we got that little nugget of niceness. What does this have to do with clothes? Okay, let's see. They had Taylor Swift's Folklore on repeat, and then she released a line of cardigans from the video. And so she bought a Taylor Swift cardigan. I bet it was really expensive. She describes it as Hampton style. It's a bit preppy, and she likes it. So when she washes it and it's clean, she feels even better. What is this? This is a long article. Hey, you know what else makes you feel good? Clean sheets on your bed. How about a clean house? Yeah, no kidding. Clean stuff is going to be a little bit more satisfying than if, this is my favorite shirt, but I never wash it because I don't want it to fade. It reeks of sweaty men in a mosh pit. It stinks, but I love the comfort level. Okay. And this is a BBC article from the main BBC website. You would assume the person writing this is making some good dough. I mean, you got this guy talking about washing his pants. My trousers are in constant use. I wash them and wear them again. I'm just... Okay. I've got an energy drink here. I'm going to crack it because this story, for whatever reason, is cracking my brain. Let's take a look at things that the internet thinks are trends that will die within 3 to 5 years. All right, I'm down. There's certainly a lot of annoying trends. Let's see what these are. I mean, some of the annoying trends I don't think are going to die. Like sharing information online without double checking to make sure that it's actually real. That's been a trend going on for many years, and you know, I'd hoped as society progressed that would go away. No, we're getting dumber all the time. You know, growing up, watch all these shows about the future. Boy, if we only knew. If we only knew, we'd be heading backward. Okay, let's see here. Trends that you think will die in 3 to 5 years. Ad-free streaming services. Yeah, that's already dying. We've talked about that before. You know, a few years ago, even just a few years ago, people would still complain about commercials on the radio. You know, I don't want to listen to radio. Too many commercials. I haven't gotten that complaint for a long time because if you use YouTube, if you've got the YouTube app on a smart TV, guarantee you're getting pummeled with way more ads than we give you. We only play ads every half hour, and we do like a couple minutes. It's not bad at all. Nothing compared to what you get watching a streaming service. Or like, I love podcasts, and I even pay for Spotify. You know, I pay for it for the premium service. Fire up Last Podcast on the left. And they do a good job with their commercials. They make them entertaining, but I mean, geez, sometimes you're getting like 6-7 minutes every 20 minutes. Like, okay, we get it. Yes. If you need to set up a website, we know which one you think we should use because you're paid to talk about it, Henry. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I think ad-free streaming, it's going to be toast quick. Soon enough, it'll be ads between the songs on Spotify. All right? With the amount of ads they pummel you with during podcasts, you know they want to do that with the music, and they're going to have to because they're not making any money. Why do you think YouTube is pummeling everybody with ads? Because they got to do it to make a profit. All right? Let's see. What else here? Family vlog channels. Will that trend die in 3 to 5 years? In my opinion, it should. I don't think that family vlog channels are very good. There's a new documentary popping up on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, like every week about the horrible outcomes from successful family vloggers. You know, I think I talked a little bit on air about the Ruby Frankie documentary. Horrible. Horrible. And I was watching another one. I don't remember what it was called. I want to say it was on Netflix. But they were talking about this group of kids called The Squad. And, you know, I only made it about an episode in, but it was already getting bad. So I'm like, how's this one going to end? Yeah, doesn't tend to end up very good. And I don't know, just, you see what happens with child stars, you know, over the decades. Yeah, I hope that one dies out. I don't think it's good for, you know, these kids to have every single aspect of their lives filmed. And, you know, when you got weird parents starting to direct how the videos need to be made, things just get very disturbing. All right, what else do we have here? Here's an answer Peaches would hate. Probably 90% of what is trending. Get a specific answer out there. All right? Let's see, describing every new thing as viral? Nah, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Viral has been a word that's been used for a long time when it comes to everything on the internet. Overpriced cookie shops. You think that's a trend that's going to die out? They said it'll end up like all of the frozen yogurt places. The frozen yogurt places are still popular, are they not? Or is it just around here? Yeah. Like, I would think maybe the soda shops would start dying out. Probably not. Probably not. And overpriced cookies, they might be overpriced, but they're delicious, right? They're delicious. They're not going to go anywhere. I highly doubt that the trend of fancy cookie shops is going to go away. You know, people need some kind of joy in their lives. Go get a cookie. Lip fillers? No, I don't think that's going to go away. I think that plastic surgery, if anything, is going to increase. That's my prediction. I mean, look at the celebrity world. Celebrities that don't need to do any of these procedures do it. Okay, broccoli haircuts. Fashion comes and goes, so I'm sure the broccoli haircut will die out. Yeah. Kind of like back in the day, you know, the big baggy pants, those died out for a long time. They're making a comeback. You know, my high school look, very popular now, which is a bit unnerving because, you know, that's just the way I've always dressed. I dress the exact same as I did in high school. And now with young people dressing that way, then you're the old guy that's, you know, people are like, look at that guy trying to dress like a teenager. It's like, no, you stole my look. You jacked my fashion, all right? What else is a trend that might die out? Homes with barn doors. I really hope that trend dies out. Barn doors are terrible. Just give me a door that shuts. I don't want a sliding door. It's like when you go to a hotel and the bathroom has a sliding door. You're like, what is this? Why? Why on earth would you put a sliding door to the toilet? Okay? And then to shut the door, you've got to, like, try to press it against the side, and, you know, it's got the crappy little latch, and you're like, ugh. Somebody who, because they never put the sink in the bathroom in the hotel, you're like, this has got to be the filthiest thing imaginable that I'm touching. It's gross. It's gross. Okay. The sad beige aesthetic trend. The come pack my water tumbler with me videos. The restock videos. The nail tapping on all the products. What's the sad beige aesthetic trend? I must not watch the right type of content online to understand these. I'm going to dig into this sad beige aesthetic, and we'll find out what that's all about on the next break, all right? Okay, I actually did start digging to try to find out what the sad beige aesthetic is, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Everything's sad and beige. It's pretty much a perfect descriptor for driving around East Idaho during winter months when everything's dead. Because, you know, most of the houses around here are one of a handful of shades. You've got, you know, white, beige, brown, and that's about it. So winter, it just sucks around here. There is no color to be found. You know, the snows turn to that ugly gray color. It's all dirty. And then, you just drive around. All the plant life's dead. Ugh. I hate the sad beige aesthetic. And this is, you know, not really a thing dealing with how people paint their houses. That's just how I feel about decorating schemes here in the region. Shout out to Pocatello for an increased number of murals popping up around town. Could we get that in Idaho Falls, please? More murals. Add some color, please. And I know there are some popping up, but we need more. Yeah, sad beige aesthetic is like your whole house. You just pull all of the joy out of it and just have everything in there matching shades of brown. Ugh. Yeah, my house, the complete opposite of this, okay? My decorating scheme as a 42-year-old man, probably not to the liking of most other people my age. Every room in my house, I think at this point, has Govee RGB bulbs. So There are times when there ain't a normal colored light in my house turned on. You know? It's just all circus. And as much color as I can slap up on the walls all over the place. I don't know. It's just the vibe I enjoy. Like if you ever see video or photos of the K-Bear studio, very similar to my home, other than I think it's kicked up a tiny notch here. At home, the posters are like in frames and things and look a little bit nicer. In here, it's just chaos. But the sad beige aesthetic. I mean, people have even made spoof accounts online to parody this popular trend. Yeah, we earlier on the show talked about trends that will die out in 3 to 5 years. I hope the trend of everything being these boring colors, like, you know, if you go shopping for houses, you got all these people who will flip homes and they paint every single wall inside of these houses just white. Like no accent walls or anything, just everything is white or gray. And it's so boring, so dull. What really gets me is there will be these, you know, cool old houses, old Victorian homes with this, you know, cool woodwork. They've generally got weird wallpaper. You know, they got some character. But people will come in and they'll just paint everything white on the inside. Just strip all of the personality out of these really unique places. Oh, I hate that. Ugh. Sad beige aesthetic makes me want to puke. Yuck. Ugh. Yeah, these poor kids that grow up in these households. Hide your toys. There's too much color. You're only allowed to have teddy bears, and they all must be of a natural shade. Be awful. Give these kids some color. I'm looking at pictures of people's houses here, and it's, you know, it just looks like the inside of an Airbnb. So boring. I don't know. It just tends to be, for whatever reason, something people think they have to do, have to make their house look like, you know, pictures you see online or something. Put the live, laugh, love on the wall, and I don't know. It's just so boring. It's your house. Do what you want with it. And if, you know, your friends or family are like, dude, your place is kind of weird, be like, yeah, me too. That's why it looks this way. Let me do what I want. Get out of my house if you don't like it. Go back to your boring beige wasteland. All right? Get. Yep. I did that. One of the most mellow Beatles songs into one of the most heavy Whitechapel songs. Just like to show every once in a while that you can really do whatever you want on radio. I was reading through yet another post on the Sleep Token subreddit where people were asking about their local radio station editing songs and why they do it. And you get people chiming in, well, it's what they have to do. There are rules. There are not rules about this. That's what lying DJs and lying programmers will pass on to listeners so that listeners will shut up. Yeah, pretty much. The average radio station does not give a crap what the listeners think, okay? It's like another thing that popped up in my feed today was a stat regarding why people listen to radio. For 7 years in a row, the number one reason that people listen to radio, and this isn't just to pat myself on the back because I'm not very good, but the number one reason that people listen to radio is for the personalities. And that shouldn't be a shocking statistic because there are, you know, so many other avenues to listen to music in 2025. And for the last 7 years, there have been so many other options for listening to music. If all you want to hear is music, I get it. Why would you tune into radio if all you want to hear is music? You know, we're still under these dumb FCC restrictions where we have to edit naughty words out of songs. And editing songs is really funny to me anyway, because when you edit a song, it draws more attention to the words that have been cut out. And do you think anybody listening to a song that's been edited doesn't know what word was just popped out? It forces that word into their brain. And whether they want to or not, they're now thinking about that particular word. It it really does screw up the music listening experience. But anyway, back to, the number one reason that people listen to radio stations being the personalities. You'd think that radio management would get this, but at most radio stations, management has the personalities at the very bottom of the heap of importance to the radio station. I don't know why. You would think management would love the personalities, but many of them, I'm grateful to work where I do, where management understands the importance of personalities. But so many of them out there are like, just hurry up, say something quick between the songs, get done, get out of there. People don't, the very first thing that I was told when I got into radio was people don't tune in to listen to you. So hurry up and get to the next song. And I always thought that was weird because when I listen to radio, I like to listen because I wanted to hear what the DJ had to say. Otherwise, I'd put on a CD. Like the only difference, the only angle that radio has that differentiates it from these other options are the DJs. So anyway, these dumb, endless rules and, techniques and strategies. People just need to keep it simple. Play good songs, play the songs that people want to hear, play the most popular music, yet another thing that radio doesn't seem to understand, and let the DJs run a little bit wild. Let them get that personality out there. Let them grow as personalities. Let them get better at their job. They're not going to get better at their job if they're just reading notes. Why is podcasting taking over? Why is YouTube so popular? Because it's real. It's real. These aren't broadcast professionals. They just keep it real and people like it because they feel like they're connecting with a real human being. Still got radio personalities throwing on a stupid voice. All right, everybody. We got a fun hour ahead. We're going to be giving you the keyword to text in to get into our national giveaway. And then we're going to play the same songs you hear on every other station in this format. And don't worry. We won't play anything remotely interesting. All right, anyone? Getting carried away here. I've got an ocular migraine going on. If you don't know what that is, it's not like a headache. There's a little aspect of headache, but you get like this in your field of vision, like a kind of a flashing, like half moon thing. If you've had this happen to you, you know what I'm talking about. And it always makes me paranoid. I'm like, did it finally happen? Did I blow a socket inside of my head? It's not a tumor. Maybe it is. I don't know. Seems to be clearing up, though. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have cracked that second energy drink. I don't know. I'm going to drink it, though. Holy cow. Show is just going by pretty quickly today, which, that's great. I'm excited to get through the workday. Hoping for a somewhat normal afternoon today. I don't know. Yesterday was kind of brutal. I didn't think it was that bad. I'm a dude, right? I'm a man. And I catch myself doing things that I know are not good to do. All right? And it was actually something that popped up in the Bill Burr special that came out recently. Guys like to just stuff things down or push them away to the corners of their mind. And yesterday, there were a variety of things that were kind of bothering me. And I realized throughout the day, I did everything I could to just shove that stuff down deep and not think about it. Yesterday, I even mentioned it on the show. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. All right. Now, my mom passed away a couple years ago, so her birthday is generally a sad day. Easy birthday to remember because, well, it's my mom's birthday. You should remember your mom's birthday, but she also shares a birthday with my oldest daughter. So it's a weird day because it's like, oh, yeah, cool. It's my daughter's birthday. I got her some tickets to see Poppy in Phoenix. She was very excited. But But then at the same time, it's like, oh, it's my mom's birthday. Sad. But I just pushed that out of my mind. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, it's my mom's birthday. I'm not going to think about that. And in the Bill Burr special that I think it's on Hulu, it's really good. Really good. He talks about how guys will just suddenly die. You know, like women don't just all of a sudden keel over. Just bam, heart attack, dead. It's a guy thing. And Bill postulated it's because guys, you know, we stuff things down and here you go, a bunch of men that never cried. And it's kind of funny, even though I know that's good for you. It's good. You can't bottle things up. I could be watching a movie. By myself. And if something makes me like, I'd stop myself from letting the tears drop sitting alone in a room. What's up with that? Anyway, what was the point I was going to make during this break? I mean, obviously, dudes, you know, make sure to get your emotions out. But I guess it's just a reminder to myself that, I don't need to stuff things down. You know, I think I even cracked like some jokes when I briefly mentioned that it was my mom's birthday yesterday. Like, you know, let's try to make light of this. Anyway, I'm just kind of weird, I guess, because, you know, I started getting messages from family members, my brother and sister, my mom's sister. You know, hey, thinking about you guys today, thinking about mom today. And I'm like, yeah, thinking about all you guys too. Okay, moving along now. I don't want to think about this. One weird thing I would say, though, is, and I don't know if it's weird, but a lot of people will do the in remembrance on the day somebody died. You know, because my mom died about a week before her birthday, so that was last week. And started getting those same messages. I don't even know if I wrote anybody back. I was just being, you know, very, you know, standoffish. I'm not thinking about that at all. I don't know. I would not want to remember somebody on the day they died. The day they died, that was not a good day. All right, birthday, sure, positive. When I think about the day my mom died, I mean, I was there. It sucked. It wasn't fun. We did our best to make it as fun as you can. I mean, that's pretty hard to do. You know, but we played some good tunes, tried to crack some jokes, you know, tried to keep her smiling, even though, you know, she wasn't like talking or anything. Okay, I mean, this could get really dark if I kept going. But, yeah, just, you know, don't stuff down your feelings. It's bad for you. Let it out every once in a while. Don't be a dude, all right? It's okay to cry a little bit, guys. It's all right. So anyway, I need to catch up. The old clock's here. How'd we get that out of whack? All right, I'm going to move along so I can stop thinking about my mom. And I got to push that back, you know, into the corner where, I'll deal with it another day, right? You know, deal with these things another day. Do the dude thing. As I was attempting to find one final thing to talk about for the show, I was just being pummeled by fandoms. You know, earlier I talked about Ghost fans being annoying right now. Well, TV show fans can just be insufferable. I think the show Yellow Jackets is a good show. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not The Sopranos. It's not The Wire. It's not Breaking Bad. It's fun. It's just a good, fun show with a great cast. And I've enjoyed it. I didn't realize there were so many problems with this show till I decided to check out the Yellow Jacket subreddit. And now I seem to just be pummeled with everybody's complaints about this show. They don't like what so-and-so character did, blah, blah, blah. All right, I get it that these online forums and such are the place to go talk about things, but I've never understood a complete meltdown over a TV show not going the way you wanted it to. Like, you're not the writer. You don't get to decide. And sometimes not getting what you want makes the story better. Okay? It's like The Last of Us Part 2, okay? The video game itself. There are aspects of that story that are very dark if you played the first game. It's not a happy story. And Part 2 is even less happy, all right? People, like, what did you want? What did you want from these writers? Something that just makes you feel good when you're done with it? Not every story needs to make you feel good at the end, okay? Some of the best pieces of entertainment are just crushing, emotionally crushing. Well, I mean, can you imagine if there was like, all right, I don't want to spoil any shows. We'll just, for these type of programs that have a dark story, can you imagine if they just had a happily ever after ending? It'd be so lame. Now, I get it that it's not necessarily pleasant sometimes to sit through dark material. Like, I'd totally forgotten how dark The White Lotus was. Yeah, because it'd been a while since I watched a season. Just got done watching the new one last night. Very dark. You don't walk away feeling very good. Yeah. And I will say, I think the older seasons of The White Lotus were a little bit better than the new one. It was fine. It was worth a watch. But I bet if there's a White Lotus subreddit, people are complaining, they could have done this, blank this, see, I should be the writer. Okay, well, move yourself to LA and get writing. I'd love to see somebody from East Idaho blow up as the next big screenwriter for Hollywood. Sure. But complaining online ain't going to get you there. You got to do the work. Got to put the work in. So, anyway, I suppose that does it for now. I'll be back later at noon. It'll either be me by myself trying to bring the mayhem, or I'll drag somebody in with me. We'll see. I don't know what to expect. I don't plan that far ahead. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again for tuning in to The Viktor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.